The most anticipated shoe of the year is finally here, the Asics Superblast version 2. The original Superblast burst onto the scene last year and almost immediately became one of my absolute favourite all-time training shoes. And when I'm not out running testing other shoes, this was the shoe I'd reach for about 90% of the time, clocking up over 3,000 kilometres in a few different versions of version 1. With two big updates to version 2, with the outsole and the upper here, I was really worried that Asics might be messing this one up. So is this new model going to live up to my very high expectations, or am I going to be scouring eBay to try and find some pairs of version 1? And as always, I bought this shoe 100% with my money to give you that completely honest, impartial, unbiased review. Right, let's get stuck into all of the changes between the version 1 and version 2. The price of the Superblast 2 is a little bit more expensive here in the UK, now costing £200. Most markets around the world, it's pretty much the same. We have got an updated midsole, this big chunk through the middle here, which now uses the FF Turbo, the same as the updated Metaspeed Sky and Edge, Asics' most premium responsive foam that they offer out there. And then we've got a thin layer along the bottom of here of Asics' FF Blast Plus, which is what they use for a little bit more durability and also sort of stabilizing the shoe. We've got an updated outsole, much welcomed updated outsole. This is new Asics grip rubber on the bottom here, a little bit more grippy here in the wet weather. We'll come on to chat about that a little bit later on the review. And also, you can't get any stones and pebbles and little hitchhikers on the bottom of the shoe here, which you get all the time on version 1 when you run on sort of more gravelly areas. So they've filled in all of those holes in, slightly different design and pattern on version 2. And then finally, we've got a different updated upper to the shoe here, which is now this one-piece woven engineered mesh. So it's a little bit more stretchy and just has a little bit more movement with the shoe versus version 1. Right, let's get stuck into the facts and figures. This is your long distance mileage monster for crushing those long runs out there. And it's also one of the very best non-plated racing shoes. Perfect for like 10k half marathons, and also ultra marathons if they're going to be on the road as well. It's very much a road shoe, although you could do a little bit of light trail with this great Asics grip on the bottom here. Price-wise, this set me back £200 here in the UK, around about 220 euros, 200 US dollars, around about 320 Australian dollars. Stack heights, we've got 45mm at the back of the shoe, 8mm drop overall, and it's basically the same weight as the outgoing model. For me, this is coming at 288 grams. That's really quite light for a shoe this size. This is in my particular size, UK 11.5 here. The old version was 290, so basically exactly the same. It is a neutral shoe. The upper, as I've just said, is this lovely engineered mesh upper, which Asics say is going to improve the airflow through the shoe. Midsole, we've got the FF Turbo Plus through the middle here, and then the FF Blast Plus Eco along the bottom of the shoe there. There is famously no carbon plate in this shoe, and the outsole now features this Asics grip, which is these yellow sections here. And Asics also put this on some of their trail shoes as well, so it's very tacky, very sticky, a nice sort of low density rubber to try and improve on Asics' usually quite poor wet weather performance. There are no different widths available at launch, but it's pretty good here on the width side. There's also this one flagship color at launch, which is Asics' Paris colorway. Personally, I absolutely love this. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. Asics say that this is to do with Paris, called the City of Lights, and we've got sunset and sunrise colors here. And finally, this wasn't true to size. I actually ordered a size 12, my usual size, and a size 11.5. I always had 11.5 in version 1, and I've stuck with that in version 2. Basically, I'd just say to go half a size down from your regular size, or go exactly the same size as you had in version 1 if you had that shoe. If you could like and share this video and let us know down in the comments your thoughts on the Superblast 2, that'd be great. And please check out my website, benparks.com. We've got training plans, the best running hats in the world, some technical gear and casual gear to keep you going through your training. Right, let's get stuck into the likes. My first like here is they didn't mess it up. Come on, I get so worried when you have your absolute favourite shoe out there and a manufacturer releases a new one and you're like, please don't mess it up. Please don't make it really heavy, bulky, use different materials. They have used different materials, but all of the updates in the shoe have worked really well. The upper is just a little bit more breathable. The key areas such as the ankle lockdown, absolutely fantastic. No slipping, no blisters, no hot spots. Nice gusseted tongue here, just gives the perfect right amount of padding so your foot stays nicely locked down. Yes, I was a bit worried my foot might move around around a little bit at the front of the shoe with this woven mesh upper, but it just stays perfectly in place, so no problems there. And also finally, thank you to Asics for not increasing the weight. Actually, for me, brought it down very so slightly. A super lightweight shoe. It is absolutely amazing how a shoe can be this light, and it just feels so much fun to run in. My second like with the shoe is this updated midsole foam. It's just ever so slightly more poppy and responsive, but really very similar. If you're a fan of version 1, you're gonna love this updated foam in version 2. It just strikes that perfect balance in a shoe that can just have that sudden turn of speed. Of course, there's plenty of faster, dedicated 5K and 10K shoes with plates and things like that there, but that's not what this shoe is all about. This shoe's perfect for crunching those long distance marathon training runs or marathon races as well, if you don't want to be using a carbon plate. And really, if you don't want to have a carbon plate in your shoe, there really is nothing faster out there than the Asics Superblast version 2. And then finally, my third like with the shoe is this updated outsole. The Superblast was okay in the wet. It really wasn't that great, but the new Asics grip they put on the bottom of the shoe here just means all of that worry has gone away. When I have run in it in the wet, it's just gripped super fantastically, and you really can feel the difference. Even walking around the house in the new one, it just feels different. It's a lot more tacky. When Asics had all their problems with their grip, with their wet weather grip in like the Novablast 2 and 3, it really wasn't very good. This, you don't have to worry about it at all. Fantastic update, Asics. Well done. Finally got a shoe that you can trust in the wet weather. And also, you can just take this out on some light trails as well, and it will handle those absolutely fine. Some fire roads and things like that, you'll be good to go here. Moving on to the dislikes. This is really hard, to be honest. My first dislike isn't really even about the shoe, it's just about all the supply issues you have with the Superblast, and I don't know why Asics are like this. The shoe sells out so quickly, pretty much sold out on launch day all around the world. Maybe it's all just marketing, I don't know. There's something in this shoe that you can't get on all of the other Asics shoes. The materials are all available, but they really seem to limit supply. I can only assume, I don't know why that is, but this shoe will be selling out very quickly. If you can get a pair, you want to get a pair, don't dilly-dally, just go and get that order in. And also, the shoe was meant to launch on Friday, just gone, on the Asics website here in the UK. They didn't even launch because I think they had supply issues themselves and they delayed their launch. Again, I don't know, that's just what I suspect. Even Asics can't get it right. I got my pair from Sport Shoes, got up at 5:30 in the morning to try and secure a pair, which I managed to do. So very happy with that. Got the 11.5 and 12s come in, and now I need to send the 12s back because I was just a bit worried about the sizing, but we're all good. The second sort of dislike I've got with the shoe, it is a little bit on the expensive side. It's so hard to be talking about a £200 shoe and saying this is great. It is a fantastic shoe, but also what you're getting with that £200 is a super durable shoe as well. I'd always get at least 1,000 Ks out of my version 1. The updated outsole on the shoe should be even better, so should be getting a little bit more mileage out of this, but it does last a long time. I can't wait to bring you a full whiz-bang pop review once I've done my 1,000 Ks in this shoe. We'll slot it into a review somewhere down the line. And speaking of cost, maybe you're better off at going for something like the Novablast 4, for example. £65 less, that's a big chunk of cash. And the Novablast is a superb all-around shoe. The Superblast, it is slightly quicker without a doubt. It's just a little bit more responsive, less bouncy foam you get here, and it is better suited for your long runs. Just a bit firmer, bit lighter, and just a bit smoother through the foot strike overall. But I'd say stick with the Novablast if you're just looking for something that you can do all of your runs pretty well and you're not doing too many long runs. It's a shoe that's, I'd say, around about 90% as fast and really will suit the vast majority of people unless you're looking for the absolute creme de la creme. Or if you're very fortunate to have the budget and you want to get both of them, then you could use all your sort of regular daily training in the Novablast and then use this for your marathon training long runs and maybe even a marathon racing shoe at the weekend. Moving on, the Neo Vista hit the scene a few weeks ago. I gave it a rave review. It was fantastic, £50 cheaper, and it really is a bit of a shoe at the moment. It has a nylon plate in it, so slightly different feel, very different ride going through the shoe. It's bouncier and it's softer, and it does soak up those easy miles a little bit better. The Superblast picks up the pace a little bit better, and it does have a firmer ride. Both of these shoes supremely comfortable. I would personally choose this type of upper rather than the booty upper. Just get a better lockdown in this one, and with the Neo Vista, it's just a little less stable around the corners, where this is absolutely rock solid. And the Superblast will probably last a little bit longer with this better outsole with the shoe there as well. So I really think you're getting about the same sort of value. Yes, the Superblast is a little bit more expensive, but it will last a lot longer I think, in my opinion. And then finally, something like the Nike Invincible version 3, around about £20 cheaper here. The Invincible is a lot bouncier, it's roomier, it's heavier, and it's perfect for those easy and recovery runs. But again, a shoe manufacturer is using their flagship foam without putting that carbon plate in the shoe. The Superblast is just much smoother through the stride, a lot firmer, much more nimble and lightweight, and just better at a more wider range of speeds. Whereas something like the Invincible, it really is just your sort of steady marathon pace, really steady marathon pace and easy and recovery run sort of shoe. So let's bring this all together. What do I think of the Superblast? Well, it's a fantastic shoe. Without a doubt, it is definitely going into my rotation. I'm going to finish my miles. I've got about 300 miles left in my last pair of version 1. So I'm not going to use this straight away. It's not a revolutionary update. Get subscribed and see if this shoe will be making into my top 3 shoes of the year, which we normally launch around about December time. If you are interested in other Asics shoes, we've got a complete Asics comparison guide. Again, completely unsponsored. Bought all the Asics shoes with our own money. Check that out. That is up here, coming up next. Let me know if you've got any questions down in the comments about the Superblast. I'll catch up and answer all of those down there. Keep on working hard, guys. Keep on working done. I'm off to get some more marathon training done. We'll see you very soon in the next one.